Hello and welcome to my channel. Glad you could join me today. I hope you're keeping well and staying safe with your loved ones. I'm JQ Honey and I've been working on a CC-free base game friendly save file for The Sims 4. I recently completed all 3 base game worlds and the save file for that is available now on my Patreon. Check out my last video for the overview. This is gonna be a long one because I said before that I'm just gonna go ahead and say everything I want about my builds. Hope you stick around, leave a like and subscribe to my channel. Today, I happily announced that I finally completed the world that came with The Sims 4 Discover University, Brightchester. Full disclosure, this is only up so fast because I had actually finished Ubright and Foxbury over a year ago. And I hadn't committed to doing this save file yet at the time, so they don't have the same hashtag for easy search on the gallery. I'll show you that later near the end of the video as usual. First, let's do a little tour of my Brightchester makeover, starting with the first renovation I did at University of Brightchester. I began with renovating the student halls. Nothing really noticeable on the exterior, I cleared up the interiors and laid a new floor plan. So back when I used to go to uni, we had the undergrad dorms where we shared bathrooms and bedrooms with other students. And then we had the postgrad dorms where we also shared bathrooms, but each student got their own bedroom. So I did kind of the same thing here for both campuses. Drake Hall has the shared bedrooms. In my undergrad dorm, even though we shared a bedroom, we had half walls and such dividers, so we still had some privacy also lah. And I did the same here too. Wyvern Hall residents get the private bedrooms, and as you saw at the start of this video, you'll need to shift the beds and desks a bit to fix some routing issues. I always playtest my lots and I didn't have that routing problem at the time, but it looks like I do now. You could also try locking each door for each resident to prevent Sims getting stuck because some other Sim has set up to route into their space. If you notice, the dorms had no deco in the rooms and mismatched furniture in the common areas. This was a deliberate choice I made based on my own dorm from back in the day. Next one I did was the commons. My renovation for Darby's Den adds a second floor for more activities. You will need to remove an invisible fence at the top of the staircase because this is from 2019. After the commons, I moved on to the student housing. Darkwing House was nice enough, but no matter what I tried with it, I just hated the results. So in the end, I just bulldozed the whole thing and basically copied this dummy building here. The default maximum household members is 8 Sims, and the dorms house 8 Sims in total, so I decided that the student housing should be for 8 Sims as well. They also get the same activity objects that the dorms got, plus this dining room. So that's Ubright. Let's head on over to Foxbury. I renovated most of Ubright, but for Foxbury I went for a full rebuild. The Foxbury dorms get the same deal as the Ubright halls, shared bedrooms in Briny Tower and private bedrooms in Tidal Tower. But since the exteriors are identical, my lots are interchangeable. Or you could even use the same one for both. I also included the empty shell in case anyone want to give that a go. It's always up to you. My Foxbury Commons was my most downloaded build for all of last year up until very recently. And I have no idea why. I mean, the layout is just... what even? For once, my approach to this build was like, just put up some shapes together instead of you following my usual structure. And we end up with 4 staircases because Sims cannot route for their lives. Where is even the front door? But I do admit that that approach produced something that looks nice in screenshots on the outside. For the last student housing in Foxbury, I was torn between matching the campus or the neighborhood it's in. I chose the campus since most of the time your Sims would be using the back door anyway. Same as my rebuild of Darkwing House, this also fits 8 Sims and has the same activity objects as other dorms on campus, plus a dining room. But unlike Darkwing House, the residents of Foxbury apartments each get, well, an apartment. You could actually fit a bedroom and a kitchenette in each. They originally had them, but I decided to go with this. The color schemes don't mean a thing. I use the carpets to remember which Sim has been assigned to which room. And that was the 2 campuses in Brightchester. I'll say it again, they were built in 2019 and will require a bit of tweaking in build mode. Now, for the third and final part, let's have a look at Gibbs Hill. Personally, I feel that Laurel Library promised a sense of grandeur to me and failed to deliver it. Did I mention that I just hate large lots? Well, I do. I mean, look, I had to put the ridiculous telescope in this corner because there's too much space and not enough gameplay, EA. And then to fill up the other empty spaces, I put in these fake bike paths and parking spaces. There are also food stalls that you can't use unless you hire a service sim yourself. Except if you have the NPCC mod, I think. So the entrance hall has this reception desk behind some fake scanners. The space was too empty, so let's pretend you need to actually check out the library books. You would need to do that at the admins, which is this room that nobody can access. There's a fancy sitting room here, a debate podium, a discussion room for the debaters, a room with robotics workstations, and this macro microscope. The library proper and the usable bathrooms are upstairs. This room has computers, and this one has the research archive machine version from the pack. Between them are these little private studies. Look at that, a klepto already swiped one of the chairs. Anyway, my own uni library back then had private studies like these ones that students could rent by the day. I rented one myself once at the suggestions from my then roommates, and yes, I did thought it was senseless. I mean, I could already do private study in my own room at the dorms. But then I went anyway, and I guess admittedly just a change in setting gives a different mood. I wouldn't recommend it if you're not good with confined spaces or solitary study to begin with though. The space was really closed in and so quiet and lacking in any distractions or any stimulus at all that I lost track of time and forgot to eat and drink all day. That was a huge lot. Going around, we come to the local pub. There's really only one correct way to approach a corner lot to me, and this is it. I added some outdoor seating and a food stall in the back. I rarely want to include spaces that contribute 0 to the gameplay, but this little corner is exactly that. Just pretend the reason your students go here so often is to use the ATMs. I know I only left my dorm for that same reason back then. The actual bar is here, and you'd get your drinks downstairs, then go upstairs to hang out with your friends. Moving on, we arrive at the Elderberry residence. Full disclosure, I copied this floor plan from a channel that's currently restoring their second Empire home. I'll link to them in the description. Can't say I got it exactly right though, cause I had to omit a lot of details and build it much smaller. It has these parlors, and I put a piano for Eleanor in this one. The master bedroom has this little nook where I would recommend adding a knitting corner if you have the nifty knitting stuff pack. I don't, and this is a Discover University only build, so it's just a TV area right now. It connects to the study here and opens to this balcony. The Sims keep using this ladder and I did not intend that. Next door is the Pleasant Residence, once again matching the previous build on the outside but has a slightly different floor plan. I removed the kitchen dining wall, so it's a great room now and opens to the yard here. Lilith almost always used this ladder to go up to her room here. The bedrooms are connected via this family room where I put the TV, and they share this bathroom here. I tried to make Angela's room be girly but grown up. Hopefully you agree. Up next is the starter home. Nothing extraordinary, but I tried my best to make it not look so out of place. It costs just under 18,000 simoleons, so your Sims would still have some left over for starting funds. However, I figured since this is a university town, some Simmers might not care for starter houses in this world, so I also built a nightclub. I always felt like the pub has a more toned down, relaxed vibe, and I figured the students might want to just go absolutely crazy sometimes, hence a nightclub. There's a little dance area and extra tables upstairs. I've placed the toilets in the basement here and fenced in the lot. That completes today's tour, guys! These lots are all available now in the gallery. Just go to my profile, that's Quiescence90, and search for the hashtag Brightchester. The dorms are now at the bottom of my catalog, and if you feel that's too far down to scroll, just apply the filter for university housing and you should immediately find them. Thanks so much for joining me today. Happy simming and see you next time. Bye!